Alright everyone, Geordie Paul here, one half of A&PPodcasts and the Stuck in the Middle podcast with Andy Man. Andy Man is actually really ill at the moment. He almost ruptured his bowel. Apparently I was speaking to him. We're going to give him a ring at the end of this video and we'll see how he's getting on. But the vlog, fancy doing, this is our second one. So I thought I'd get out and try somewhere a little bit different out in Annesley Woods. In Nottingham. I was sort of just thinking, we're doing the episodes, and like the last one, for example, was Man Up, and I wanted to sort of match them to real life stories. I guess the only problem with that is I'm not necessarily going to have my own real life sort of story to every single one. Maybe in the past, which I guess this will technically be in the past, but then what I was thinking was possibly, well, I had an episode earlier on in the week, and it matched kind of what we were talking about in that episode. Alright, just want to jump in there quickly. I realise that I'm saying the word episode a lot. Just what I was actually meaning was I had a personal episode, a mental health episode where I was struggling, and it matched the episode that we had. I thought I would just put that in there so you kind of knew what it was that I was talking about. Plus the fact that when I was listening back to it, it didn't make much sense. So personal episode matched the episode that we did. I need to find another word for that. A moment. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys. So I thought I'd sort of bring you guys on a walk with me, and we'll go through it and we'll see what we think. I mean, I found a really good way of dealing with it in the end, actually. So maybe if you guys stick around till the end, and we'll definitely give Andy a ring to see how he's getting on. But I'll go through what coping mechanisms I've been trying, what I've learned through my counselling and things. So we'll get that involved. Come on then, let's get walking. Alright everyone, I don't think I've actually walked up this part of Annesley before. I've been up on my bike and things. Everything goes a little bit quicker when you're up on your bike. We don't do that anymore. So I just wanted to go for another walk and have another vlog and bring you guys along. Now I did get the dog ready to come, or tried to. My wife was helping me this morning. But then realised that I can't hold the camera and hold the dog at the same time. If another, dog walker comes along and wants to put the dog on the lead and things like that, and then my dog Sasha, she runs off, then I'm going to be a little bit screwed with one hand. How my past week's been since I last vlogged? Well, I had a bit of an episode at my son's football train. If you're wondering why I've got a little bit of a lisp, I got some new teeth, so just getting used to talking with them. So you'll have to bear with me until I start getting used to those. Had an episode at my son's training. They basically had a Halloween sort of training session, fun training session, where it was dads against the kids and things like that. And naturally, I couldn't play with a hand. If I fall or the ball hits me, I just can't. I can't do it. I'm never going to be able to really sort of do that anymore. So I sort of stood to the side and was a bit quiet, and I started to get all those anxiety feelings and overthinking and thinking about, what other people were thinking. So to sort of go through what I was feeling in that moment, Gutted that I couldn't play and be involved. Gutted for me, but gutted for my son as well, you know. I think he wanted his dad to be on there with him and you know, what have you. My wife was there and, you know, bless her, she got involved and she was playing. Other mums and stuff were stood on the side and I'm watching everybody play and have a good time and what have you. Being left out of the main group, you know, because I've been involved in football teams and things before, it's sort of, yeah, it was crap. That burning sensation in my stomach, which I know is the anxiety coming because I've started to recognize that now. The overwhelming feeling of everybody's like sort of, you know, because I'm being quiet at the side, everyone's sort of watching thinking, oh, why is he being miserable? And that's not the case. I was just struggling in that moment. I think, you know, some of the advice and things that we give on the channel, I completely recognize that in the moment that you're struggling, it's so hard to then just go, right, stop. Right, how do I deal with this? What do I do? What's them hints and tricks? My brain's all fuzzy. You know, it's dead easy now for me to say it, but in that moment when you're feeling those intense feelings, like how do you deal with them? I mean, I'm gonna go through what I did and hopefully, you know, it can help you guys. I want to sort of touch on a few things that we talked about in the last episode. The last episode was Man Up, how we can break the stigma, how it's used, how it should be used, how it's not used. Same thing. So what I've done is I've brought myself a few notes. So if you sort of see me looking down, I'm just looking at a few notes to sort of make sure that I give you guys as much of the information as I could about what was happening, you know? So how did I deal with it in that moment? Well, first of all, I really struggled. I get the social anxiety thing a lot. So, like I've just said there, it just gets so overwhelming. You just don't know, you know, where to put yourself. So Hood came up, I stood over to the side and just being quiet. Now, I should be thinking to myself, right, what am I doing? To be fair, what I have learned and stuff, being in that moment, like, again, feeling so foggy, you just forget everything, or you might quite like remember like a snippet. Oh, what was it? Touch the face. He said, touch the face. You know, it's so hard. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes experimenting in different scenarios. And I guess it's hard to go out. It's not like you can go out and practice some keepy-ups and get better at keepy-ups. Do you know what I mean? You don't go out looking for these horrible feelings and putting yourself in these situations. They just sort of come along unexpectedly, and then you're expected to, I say remember your training, but it kind of is a little bit like that. I mean, it was nice. I mean, one of the parents, Laura R, thank you, sort of came out, and I went and sort of hid in the car and sat in the car and watched a couple of YouTube videos. And she came out asking if I wanted some of the food that they'd prepared in the changing room and stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm all right, thank you. And really, you know, I think my wife even came out after that and gave me a slice of pizza and says, come on, get something down here. And I'm like, oh, I'm not hungry. So I was a bit sort of like, yeah, well, but thank you, Laura R, for, I know you like listening to these episodes and stuff while you're doing the cake stuff. Must admit, those cakes were pretty nice though. But yeah, it's so hard to just snap out of it, you know? I was overthinking everything. Like, I can't like do this in terms of like, it just won't go away. Like, you sit there and think, oh, go, is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? And it just doesn't go. And I'll tell you another thing as well, because I've been working so hard on the mental health stuff, right? And it comes out of nowhere and all the rest of it. God, does it sort of scare you? And I mean scare you, not like heights or, I mean, I don't want to go back down that road of feeling depressed again because it's horrible. Like, this is how it started. I've got to fix this. I've got to talk. Now, I'd probably say, it was Thursday night and it's now Monday. So, I've had the whole weekend to think about it and stuff. But now is really only my opportunity to really speak out. I don't think I kind of mentioned it too much to my wife. It's one of them, isn't it? Like everyone has their own personal stuff, and it's their own mountain. I was thinking about how to describe this actually, and I like the sort of term when it comes to stuff and money, that one man's junk is another man's riches. And it's a bit like that in terms of your mental health. One person's struggles might seem completely inferior to you or other people, but they are massive to them. So we all go through some horrible things in life, and I would never suggest that I'm anywhere near that by just feeling sorry, but do you know what I mean? If some of the big stuff's happened to you and stuff, but individually, grief, everything, it's you deal with it individually. So there can't be a set of written rules that work with everybody. Like I say, I'm getting out of breath now. So after all of that, I kind of went home after the game and started to really think, right, I've got to deal with this. I kind of had a breather. Hang on, while I cross this busy road. I don't want to get knocked over whilst doing the vlog. Quick road that, no. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, went home. And sort of I had a chance to sort of calm down a little bit, and then my brain sort of kicked into gear, and then I started to process what had happened, started to really think, right, okay, now how do I sort this out now? Okay, so I started thinking about the episode, the Man Up episode. Do I man up, suppress my feelings, make them go away, or do I express my feelings? And how do I do that? Do I do both? How do I do that? Imagine, like I was saying before there, how do you do that in that scenario? Like in that immediate time? So the Man Up, we looked at the origins of Man Up, right? It comes from, the being in the army and the sports culture. Man up. What it said was, face adversities without complaint. So basically stop whinging about it and deal with it. Right. Stop whinging about it and deal with it. Is there a button for that? Do I press a button? Is there an app? Some of you might argue there is actually. You can't just stop. It doesn't just instantly go away. Especially if you're an overthinker, like me, it doesn't go away. All right, so that ain't gonna work. Physically and emotionally tough. We all have that. We just have to find it. But when you're in that moment of vulnerability and feeling down and the anxiety feelings, that bubbly, hot, sort of indigestion type feelings, that's the only way I can describe it. How do you be strong? Man up. Don't know, in that moment, not sure. Don't know if I can do that. Right, okay, so what was the other things we were talking about? suppress weakness, suppress your feelings. By just forgetting it exists, I sort of said that, didn't I? Letting these feelings build up inside. Yeah, so every single time you have an episode, then what do? Suppress all these feelings deep down in a locked box. Now, like I've said in the show, some people are really good at that. I'm not, because they just build up and pop. Do you know what I mean? I can't do that. I say I can't do that. I've done that, and it didn't help, and it just made things worse in the long run. I needed to deal with that issue and not put it in a box, put it in the bin. Just to put it in the bin and forget about it, because, you know what I mean? Deal with it. It's rubbish then. Don't need to deal with it again. So what do I mean? Some of you might be asking, some of you might not. I suppose I thought I'd put it out there. What do I mean by suppressing feelings? I guess it's kind of how it sounds. So, let me read this out to you. Suppression happens when you actively push uncomfortable thoughts, feelings, or memories out of your consciousness. This is because you don't know what to do with them. I read this last night whilst sort of jotting down some notes for this. I don't know what to do with these thoughts. So what? Bury them in the sand? Right. So what I need to do then is learn how to deal with them. Some people call suppression shutting down. Same thing. I don't know how to deal with this emotion that I'm going through right now. Shut down, lock it in a box. I wish people knew how it felt. The truth is, they probably do. You know, that horrible, gutty feeling, the sad. Feeling just sad. It is just overwhelmingly sad. Snap out of it, like give yourself a shake. Man up. Keep saying that. But how? Expressing yourself though, one of the things we keep saying on the channel is talk. Right? I'm doing it now. You guys will start doing it. I'm sure you will. With whoever, your partner, your best mate, your kids, your parents, whatever. Once you start, it'll get easier and easier and easier. I promise. And wouldn't it be great if the people around us would do it as well? I'm gonna keep saying it. The other person needs to get involved in everybody else's mental health. I don't mean pushing your way into other people's lives and getting involved. People don't like that. But some people within your circle should be able to recognize when you're feeling down and if there's an issue. Because most of the time you will exude. Is that the right word? Exude? Am I using too fancy a word there? Probably am. Your own personality. You know, you'll be yourself most of the times. So when you're not, somebody close to you should recognize that and be like, how's it going? What's up? You don't look yourself today. Do you know what? Come here. Let's have a chat. Be brave. And this goes to the other person. Be brave. You have to be brave. I want everybody to start working together, not by interfering or meddling with other people's lives. I don't mean that. I just mean, example here actually, which is kind of hypocritical a little bit. My situation the other night, I'm sort of sat there and I'm being dead quiet and I kind of just want to be on my own. If someone comes up to me at that point and says, how are you doing? Do you want to talk? I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm fine. Do you know what? Someone just recognizing it might be enough to just help. But if you're brave, no, I feel a bit shit actually. I don't then expect the other person to go, oh, right, okay, man up. It's a tough thing to do. I guess all I'm really trying to say, I'm trying to say to myself a little bit really, is just sit with those feelings. Really educate yourself on the feelings so you can accommodate them. You won't have that feeling of, I don't know how to deal with these. You'll be like, oh, I know how to deal with this. No, I'm not saying that you start springing down the road. I have a bad feeling, I know I'm doing this. And this is what I did. This is what I did when I got home. So I mentioned to you earlier on that I've gone to the football, I've had this episode. I really struggled to deal with it in that moment. By the time I got home and sort of had a breath, I then thought about all the different training scenarios and all of this type of stuff, right? When I say training, I mean just things that my counsellor has said, things that friends and family have said, things I've read. So, let's have a little look. What did I do? Now, I noted these down, which is another thing, actually. You start writing your stuff down. Because then, if you have the same feeling again, you go back, well, what did I do? Maybe that helps. So you can carry a little notebook around with you, but if you want to, do it. In fact, what do we all have? A mobile phone. How many Google Notes? There's iPhone notes. Jot them down on there. When I say I wrote them down, I did exactly the same on the phone, to be fair. So what I jotted down was, what did I do? Right, I sat there and thought, I'm okay. I'm okay. Nothing actually bad has happened. I felt bad about something, but nothing bad's actually happened to me. I'm okay. This feeling is okay. This feeling is normal. It's an intense feeling. How does it feel? What are the sensations that I'm getting? Tell you what I did do. And this works for me. I'm sure it'll work for so many people. We did a breathing exercise on episode 2, self-care, where we played it and we went through it with our viewers. And I did that. I was like, that's better. Feels so much better. You've got them on your watches. You've got them, I think Andy goes in talking about, forget what the app's called now. What's the app called? Everyone's screaming at me. Mind Sense? No, freaking forgot. Sorry. I'll edit that bit in and I'll say what that is. Mind Sense, yeah. Your watches and all of that, do little breathing exercises. That instantly made me feel a bit better. I've mentioned, mine was already outside, so kind of was out in the fresh air, but getting yourself out. Now, in a specific moment, easier for me to say, specific, you might have to just get out and get a breath. If you're stuck in an office and this emotion comes over you, get out and get some fresh air, do a breathing exercise. A lot of you probably be like, go out and have a fag. Don't do that, it's bad for you. Says me, I can't say no. I don't smoke, but I used to. Yeah, absolutely caked my pants. I'm in Nottingham, England, and this thought of a bear was coming. There are no bears here. I've never seen one, ever. Why? Watched too many movies. I wonder if that was on the camera. I'm gonna have a look at that back. Could you see behind me this freaking back? Yeah, you should have, pooed my pants. Well, at least I was vlogging in front of somebody. Tick. Okay. Breathing exercise. Yep, so we said that, didn't we? Oh, yeah, that was another thing. Think about the facts. I mentioned this again in the episodes. This is something that my counsellor went through with me. What actually was I thinking in that moment? So I was thinking, these are all thinking I'm being miserable. These are all wondering why you're not getting involved. Yeah, probably not even Do you know what? I'm thinking about the fact of it. What was it I was thinking? Do you know the fact? They'd have been watching the game and completely oblivious. They'd have been enjoying the game, not thinking even once about me. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that because I'm thinking, oh, they're looking at me, and no, they're enjoying the game. Had nothing to do with it. So what could I have done in that moment then? I wanted to be involved, but I couldn't play. I could have gone stood on the sort of halfway line or something, next to the floodlights, sort of like picture the scene. It was where the lads train on night time. We have freestanding floodlights that you sort of pop up and put on. It's on grass. It's obviously getting really dark on a night time now, so and I could have just gone stood next to that, watched the game, and I don't know, shouted a few sort of, the dads and stuff, and got involved. They're all screaming and joking and things like that. I should have just got involved and done that. Then afterwards, I would have felt like I was a little bit a part of the game. Should have then forced myself, get in that changing rooms, interact with your son, because then when he comes away from that, you might not have been a part of the game, but you were there. That's got to be more important. And that's what he'll cherish. He won't remember playing the game. He just remembers you being there. He might remember you playing the game, but you know what I mean. Right, okay, so that bad feeling was complete fiction. That wasn't happening. Okay, you were getting down. I'll get to that in a sec. But all the other stuff was fine. You know what? Feeling better. Cool. That was another thing as well. I thought about a good part. So obviously, during the game and stuff like that, I'm feeling really down because I'm not involved. So when I got home and did all of these other things that were making me feel better, and they were, I thought of a good bit. Thought of a part of that night that was good, that made me smile. So I was like, okay, what happened? Nathan put in, he's 10 years old by the way, right? And he weighs as much as a leaf. He put in this challenge onto one of the dads. Now, if Mikey's watching this, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So proud of him. Boom, 50-50 challenge. The weight of the adult though outweighed the weight. Sorry, I'm just crossing this road. In front of loads of people who are watching. Oh, this doesn't feel great. What's the fact or fiction right now? What am I feeling right now? So I've got that bubbly feeling in my stomach right now, right? And I've got my camera in my hand and I feel a little bit daft in front of people. Loads of cars have just gone past. And the first thing that's going in my head is, oh, they're all looking at me thinking I look stupid. Right? So the fact is there. That was the fiction. The fact is there. They're going past. Some of the, if that was me, I'd be like, oh, that looks cool. I wonder what he's doing. Is he filming? I wonder if he's filming a walk. I wonder what he's trying to film. He needs to be careful with that, crossing the road. Do you know what I mean? Not, he looks an idiot. But here's another thing. They were in the car going past. I don't have a clue who it was. And if they were thinking that, it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. So that bubbly feeling, that burn that I've got again, right. And on we go. I've dealt with it. I know what to do with that feeling now. I'm actually glad that's just happened there. And I feel better. And I'm smiling because I feel better. And now I'm releasing all the good endorphins. I haven't stopped recording. And I'm going to leave that in raw to show you. That's how to do it. That's my process. And if that helps you, I'm pleased. You have to let me know in the comments and things. Because I want to interact with people. Me and Andy are dying to sort of have some chats and get other viewers in and what theirs are. Then we've all got, this whole show for me and Andy is initially to help me and Andy. And I don't mean that as in doing the show. I mean that as our mental health. Me and Andy were struggling with our mental health. So we decided enough's enough and we're going to get into it His partner actually sort of pushed us together and got us into it. I've said that before. So, and now I'm doing. So this goes to you, to me, to the people watching, and I don't mean the show, people watching other people who have mental health, the other person. Do it. Don't wait, do. If you need to speak up, speak up. If you need to write things down, write things down. If you need to go for a walk, go for a walk. If you're the other person, don't be so tunnel vision in your own thing. But you know what? I guarantee you, there'll be something bothering them. And by doing that, I guarantee you, if you're watching this because you are the other person, there'll be something bothering you. And it might just help you open up. It might just help both of you. You then start to build these networks that you can rely on in these intense emotional times. Wow, that's cliche. But it's true. It is true. I like it, but it's, well, all right. I don't care what everyone thinks anymore, because they're probably not thinking what I'm thinking they're thinking. So pleased that happened. I can't tell you. I don't even want to look at my note. I don't even know where I'm going actually, by the way. Sorry, I don't even know what my notes are for the next bit now, because I'm now sitting with this good feeling, and now I have this boiled up anxiety feeling has turned into a bubbly excitement. And if I really think about it, because I can feel that in my stomach, it's an identical feeling, but yet I now feel better about it. I'm not going to go that way. Can't get lost on camera, can I? It's like, what does this turn into? The Blair Witch. Let's see if everyone remembers that movie. I thought that was real, that Blair Witch. Okay, right. I think I've kind of gone over the whole man up thing there. I've certainly, told you about my experience, which was real, it happened. I've just demonstrated, I couldn't have written that. I couldn't have written that. Right, I did say that we would give Andy Pandy a call. Andy Man, I like calling him Andy Pandy. He likes Andy Man. Like handyman. So's Andy. So, I think we should probably give Andy a call, but I can't, there's no way that I can do this with one hand. So if you bear with me a second, I'm gonna just set up the tripod and we'll give Andy a call. And you know what, if someone comes, so be it. Right, let's set this up.
Help me, Doc.
Harriet, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Any signs of it getting better?
Yeah, mate, yeah. It's slowly getting better. Just keep taking the tablets and plodding on. You know how it is.
Well, I'm on the vlog right now, so say hi to everybody who's watching.
You and that vlog. I really should get on with doing mine, to be fair. Hello, everyone.
Well, dare I say it, you need to man up.
I'll give you bloody man up in a minute, mate.
No, but seriously though, pal, how are you feeling apart from obviously the bowels? How are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm definitely on the mend. Been to the doctors, it's just wait 3 days for an appointment, for an emergency one. But yeah, taking the meds, doing as I'm told, behaving, sitting down, laying in bed, doing bugger all, boring as hell. But definitely on the mend, mate. Definitely.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, we've got a show to do. So get better.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I intend on getting better. Shouldn't be too long, hopefully. But yeah, back onto the recording. Loving it. Right, I am going to shoot off, mate, because I have got the rest of the day to sit and do nothing and be bored. But I probably should get on with some paperwork.
All right, pal. Take it easy. See you later. Bye. Well, he's clearly not feeling great, is he? Well, I need to find my way out of these woods now and enjoy doing it. But thank you everyone for listening and watching. You know, it's on all the Spotify's and Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. YouTube mainly. Get involved. Let me know, let me and Andy know how you feeling, how you feel the episodes are going for you. Get your comments in YouTube. I need to find my way out of these woods now before it does get a bit Blair Witchy. I hope that that's helped some of you today. I really do. Me and Andy would love to get to know all your thoughts. Please get in contact with the channel. Leave your comments on the YouTube channel. Let's see if we can get everybody involved, get people talking, see everybody else's perspective. What worked for me there might not work for you. It might, you know, there may be other tricks. I'm dying to hear them as well. Help me. I've clearly got my issues that I'm working extremely hard at, trying to learn from and fix. So if there are other ideas and thoughts out there, get in touch. We want to interact with everybody. I enjoy bringing you on these walks with me. They're helping me. I need to keep doing them. If you guys interact, I might do a live one. Scary. Could do a live one. Me and Andy could go for a walk and he can keep the comments in his hand or something. It's not a bad idea, actually. Well, let me know if you want to see that. But I'm really enjoying doing the podcasts. I love the episode topics that we're picking up. Blended families, alcohol's coming. We've got an absolute corker coming up in December in a gym, talking about nutrition and how food affects your mental health. That's going to be brilliant. That's with a good friend of mine who owns the gym. He has his own podcast. There's actually, we talk about takeaways. There's actually a really cheap course that he provides, and I'm talking cheap. We're going to snap a little bit of discount on that as well. But that's coming up in December. I cannot wait to film that one. That's going to be good fun. Shout out to Ash if you're watching, mate. Anyway, so in the description, I'll leave all the, I'll put that breathing thing in the description for you. I'll put links to the other episodes that I've talked about in there for you, links to the channel, links to our Facebook channel. If you want to message privately on there, feel free. I will, we're only a small channel, so I can't see it being an issue to reply at all, especially not at the minute while we're growing, should I say. But if you want to get over to our next video, I'm going to put it up there. Sorry. Next video is up there. Grab a watch. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.